Oh boy. This is why you should pay attention when you're trying to record an intro to your hardcore series. Anyway, welcome to my hardcore world, where this is my second attempt at building a Lord of the Rings inspired fantasy world, starting with a Dwarven empire. And in the last episode, we were just about to hit 1,000 days, and today we are going to be celebrating that achievement. If you love building in Minecraft, or Lord of the Rings, or fantasy themed worlds are your kind of thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button, because I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on this channel. And if almost losing the hardcore world just for the intro alone isn't worth your sub, then I don't know what is. But anyway, let's roll the video. So kickstarting things off this week, we jumped into clearing the dirt mound to the right of the entrance. And with the dirt removed, we could now move on to leveling out the area before we go ahead and build the wall. And now we work on relocating our starter chests for temporary storage. And with that out the way, we took a moment as the sun came up on day 1000 in our hardcore world. And I wanted to take a moment to just reflect on this, because not only have we survived 1,000 days in hardcore where if we die we lose the entire world, but we've managed to do this without a totem, which isn't something a lot of creators are actually willing to do, never mind try and do it whilst living underground, which is probably one of the scariest places to try and create a hardcore base. So I am super proud of myself to get to this moment. But yes, we are probably going to be getting a totem soon. It was just never on the bingo cards, not because I was trying to avoid getting one, just purely because it was just something that I never felt I needed to get, because I don't try and get something until I need it. But anyway, we move on, as we're back at the wall with the little stone that we have left, so we can actually just get started building it, because I'll just keep putting this off and off. Now just look how cool this looks. My goal here was to try and make it look as if this whole entranceway was carved out the side of a mountain, and so far it's looking super amazing. But we still have a lot to do, because we've got to build the mountain above the actual entranceway, as well as go and gather some more stone. Well, I've been busy at work, but I've also been putting this off. It's time to head into the Nether and see if we can grab a few more beacons. But first, we want to grab some fire resistance potions. And if you're fairly new to the channel, now is a probably good time to explain the reason why I'm not looking forward to doing this isn't because I'm actually that scared of the Nether anymore. It's actually more just down to the pure fact that I have the most unluckiest luck, if that's a thing, in the world when it comes to dealing with wither skeletons. I literally had to kill 100, considering I have looting 3 on my sword. The average is only supposed to be about 40, I think. It took me 100 to get my first beacon in both hardcore worlds. So the goal here is to either try and get 3 to 4 beacons, or enough skulls for 3 to 4 beacons, should I say, or we get bored and sick of killing skeletons, whichever comes first. And just for reference, we're currently on 112 killed, so we'll see how many we're on by the time we get our first 3. Hey! Finally got one. Oh, that only took about 3 hours. Alright, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. I've been at this for way over an hour. In fact, if I show you the mobs killed, you can see that we're now at 231 wither skeletons. We were at 115 when we started this. It's getting a bit ridiculous. Well, with a little bit of research, I think we go back there and we turn that new area into a wither skeleton farm. Well, it's the very next day, and I've actually decided against building a farm, because the truth of the matter is, it's just not convenient. It's going to take us way too many hours to spawn-proof an entire Nether fortress, and the only 2 farms that I found at the moment require you to either let the skeletons and other mobs spawn down, which only gives you about 20 to 50 skulls per hour, or you have to build a portal to the overworld, which I don't want to do, because I don't just want random portals dotted around in my hardcore fantasy world. Alright guys, we are currently live on Twitch, but I'm taking a very quick break just to quickly say that we finally got 12 more Wither Skulls. We had one at the base already, we got 11 more. Our luck, by the way, just for context, and I've already moaned about this to the stream, but yesterday I was killing withers for an hour and a half and I got 1 skull. Today I've been live for an hour and a half so far and I've managed to get 11. The RNG just was not in my favour, but if I show you guys very quickly, still we've killed 415 wither skeletons to gain 5 beacons. It'll be 5 beacons in total, 400 skeletons. So the math kind of helps in our favour now, but it's still not fantastic. Alright guys, so we've actually gone ahead and dug down a brand new tunnel in our Dwarven city so that we can make an area to kill some withers. Basically gonna speedrun killing 3 withers, and in order to do that I have brought... No, I haven't. I've completely forgotten it, so I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. So we forgot our potion of strength. We probably don't need it, but it's going to be useful just to kind of get this over and done with as quick as possible. It down like that. Then we run away. Wait for it to go boom boom. Then it's our time to shine. There we are. There's one down. There's the second one down. That's one way to dig a tunnel. Wither effect to disappear. There we are guys, we've managed to get the 3 stars that we need for the 3 beacons. So we're actually right next to some lava, as you can hear, so we're just going to very quickly dig above the lava and hope that we can pour a bucket of water on it, which I think we've got in our toolbox, so that we can get a bunch of obsidian. And pick up all the obsidian. Pick up our bucket of water, why not? And we may need more obsidian, so we may have to come back down, but for now we can head back up and start making these beacons. And now we're back up, we can go ahead and gather the materials, and with that said, we've now got 3 more beacons we can put into the world. So this is our biggest achievement, not biggest achievement, we've already got a beacon, but we've got 3 more beacons now to add to our beacon army. So we can go ahead and place these down, but in order to do that, we are going to go and have to get some more iron for iron blocks, which means AFK in the iron farm, because we don't really have many other resources to build the pyramids out of. We have diamonds, and we could probably do diamond blocks for one of them, but we're not going to have enough for all of them, so either way, we're going to have to AFK the iron farm at some point. And despite the fact that I don't like it, that's the AFKing done, so back to the base so we can put all of our resources into the chests. And so, gathering 2 of the beacons that we've crafted, we headed over to the entranceway because we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you'd pardon the pun, by mining out stone from the new staircase area that we're going to be building in our Dwarven Empire. But before we can get to work building our new hallway, we had to go ahead and build a very small passageway that we're going to decorate and make it look really cool. But to keep to the law, we need to make sure that every passageway to a new area is at least 10 blocks thick. This makes it seem like the dwarves were truly a master of their craft when carving into stone, as they understood that making walls too thin could cause collapses within their tunnels and mines. So we got to work by mining down to the desired level, then mining out about 20 blocks to create the foundation so we could put the beacon down. And with a room carved out, and the worst transition you've probably ever seen in a hardcore Let's Play ever, we had the beacon and the room built, so we could go ahead, get the coordinates, and head up to make the hole to turn it on. And with the beacons in place, we can now move our attention to gathering the stone we need to start building the mountain above our city. So in order to do this, I thought we'd take the opportunity to just carve out what will eventually be a great hallway into the city. And the hallway's intentions was to basically just create a stairway that goes down into the world a little bit deeper, so we've got more building room, but I also wanted it to be really tall and really long to create a bigger sense of depth and scale to make the player or the person inside truly feel dwarfed by their surroundings. we've actually still got about 20 layers to dig down, but we're going to leave that for another time because that's not what I wanted to get done in this particular video or this week. But oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, news just in, it has been officially confirmed by Warner Brothers that Peter Jackson is actually going to be producing another Lord of the Rings film, and the working title right now is Search for Gollum. That is incredible. I absolutely love the Tolkien universe, and this is just amazing news. This day could not get any better, but let's go. In fact, I want to say let's just move on and go and start working on what we need to get done, but I'm just so excited by this news. My hands are shaking. You guys have no idea how much this means to me. This is incredible news. Well, we've finally come outside where we've got now a couple of double chests worth of stone, so we can move on to working on the entranceway. So the first thing we need to do in order to get this entranceway done is we need to actually make the top of this kind of mini cliff protrude out at the center bit so that these columns actually touch the stone, and then the stone kind of like goes back over on itself, and this is going to be its own separate little mound. But let's just get to work and you'll see what I mean. So the first job is to go along the top here and just kind of finish off this kind of like little rocky outcrop area, making sure that most of the stone is on the outside with only a few divots to make it look a bit natural. Yep, and that's slowly taking shape. I think we do need to adjust these bits a little bit. Maybe add in some stairs to kind of reduce the... Actually, maybe it looks alright. We'll have to kind of finish it off first, and then we'll see how it looks. But we need some more stone, because we need to go ahead and create the center point of the first mountain. So if you're unfamiliar with the Lord of the Rings, Moria as a Dwarven city runs under a mountain range called the Misty Mountains, which runs from south to north. And I wanted to incorporate that into this world, so we need to go ahead and make the first of many mountains, and this is going to be a monument in our world. It's going to be a center point. I want to be able to make these mountains visible from every possible area that we're going to build in. So we need to build it really tall and really wide. But if I go really high up, as you'll be able to see, the east gate and where I want to put the west gate into our Dwarven city is a bit too close if we were to use this current mountain, so we have to create an entirely new one from scratch, and I want it to be way bigger than what it currently is. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try and not die. So now that I am not going to die, I want to go ahead and make the ultimate peak of the mountain a little bit further west than where the current mountain is that we built under. So let's just go ahead and build this all the way up to build height. There we are, we've hit the height limit for building, and we're so far up you can only just see the previous top of the mountain. So we're going to dig down just a couple of blocks, and that should about do it. I want to leave some room for building a certain building on the top of this mountain, so we don't want to be hitting exact build height, because even though we can't see where we want to build up to, we can now go ahead and start making a little bit more progress on this entranceway, because this entranceway is carved into that mountain where we've just built up to the peak. But not every mountain is just going to be linear. Mountains have lots of humps and bumps, like if we look at this one, and if you actually go ahead and look at a mountain range, you'll notice that the mountain range isn't just one mountain stacked next to each other, it's lots of lumps and bumps. So we're going to use this original mountain to kind of act as our first bump in the mountain. So we actually want to go ahead and connect this up to this in a certain manner. So the way that we're going to do this is very similar to how we built the wall before, where we just build up 1, 2, 3 blocks, then we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we basically just want to keep taking this in building between 3 and 5 blocks. We don't want to go too high because we're not trying to get length, we're trying to get width out of this without going too high. Well, it looks funky when you've only done one, but we need to repeat this 100 times in order to see just how this is going to look. So let's just go ahead and time-lapse this. And whilst you're watching me get to work building this mountain range, I do want to stress that this is the first time that I've ever built anything or done any form of landscaping within Minecraft, and I understand that detailing is a huge part of making landscapes look realistic. However, the way that my brain works and the way that I typically work is I like to get the framework done, then I like to go back in and do the detailing afterwards. However, it's not the most actual ideal way to go about doing this. You're probably better off doing the detailing as you're building, because you'll be saving yourself a lot of time and headache. But I wanted to just make sure that I was getting this done right the first time round with the actual stone base layer before going in and doing all of the details. You know, being real honest, as I was building this, I wasn't really feeling it until I've actually taken a step back and taken a look at this objectively. I actually really like the direction that this is going. I actually really like this effect. I think it's a great start, but we've got a lot to get done because I'd like to get this whole front done, hopefully by the end of this video, but time is running out. Well, we've been placing blocks for a few hours now, so let's take a look at how this has turned out so far. And that is looking pretty incredible for a start of the Misty Mountains. There's a long way to go, obviously. This is just the beginning of a probably 1,000 day project, so we're not going to focus on this all in one go. We're probably just going to include a little bit in each video and chip away at it. But this is the east entrance, and so far it's looking super cool. There's just a couple of things that I want to finish off very, very quickly, such as digging out this area, and I also want to plan out the steps that we're going to have coming out down here. And I also just want to quickly mention, a few people in the Discord server have mentioned putting a door on here, and I sort of said I didn't know if I wanted to put a door on, but then they said, well, you could have the door open. It would just make sense to have a door on it. So what do you guys in the comments think? Should we add a door here? I think I will, but it's definitely something that I'm probably going to focus on in the next episode. But let's just go ahead, quickly dig out this area, and we can hopefully begin to wrap things up. Actually, we've got to scratch mining that area out, because I've just spent the last hour and a half rendering out the time-lapse of this mountain build, or at least finishing it off, and it was a 2-hour time lapse, and it took an hour and a half to render, which has basically made me completely run out of time if I'm going to get this video edited and uploaded today and make it to the gym before it closes. So unfortunately, I have run out of time, so I'll have to leave the video there. Don't forget to drop a like, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please leave a comment down below. I read every single comment, and I try to reply to every single comment on this channel, on the series. But I can't thank you enough for watching. You guys are absolutely incredible, and don't forget to hit up the Discord to join one of the greatest communities that I've ever seen on the internet. Thank you guys for being awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. I've been the Mike James, also known as It's Me, Mickey T. Goodbye.